Three. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Natalie. I'm here with Scott. I'm hosting Noon with Natalie once again. And I'm always super excited to have my guests on. But before we get chatting, Scott and I want to tell you a little bit about him. So I'm giving it away right away. He's a full-time professional magician. He's been doing this for over 20 years. He's won multiple awards for his magic, and he's a proud member of the world famous Magic Circle. And he didn't even need to audition for that. He's worked all over the UK and Europe. Hopefully he'll come to Canada one day, performing many styles from close-up, strolling, magic stage, cabaret, and comedy clubs. And he's also appeared on live TV on Channel 5, I'm assuming that's in the UK,
Yeah.
All-Star Talent Show, as a producer and magical advisor to Jeremy Beadle. So Scott's main area of interest are performing at trade shows, representing a wide range of businesses, and performing at weddings, and his school shows, Arithmetrix. Sounds a bit mathematical.
Good.
So
Very
Scott,
good.
welcome to my show.
Oh, Natalie, thanks for having me.
So, we had a conversation last week, which really propelled me to ask you to do this. And before the pandemic hit, I was already using Zoom with my clients. So I was meeting them online once, like one on, one off. So I could, make good use of my time. When the pandemic hit, I just continued to embrace Zoom, but it didn't really work out for all business owners that way. And what I loved about your story is this idea of pivoting, and many people have done it. Tell us how this impacted you. How did you pivot?
Well, when it happened, we locked down around, I say around 23rd of March. You never forget that date. And at the time, everybody thought, well, we'll be locked down for a few weeks. It'll be a few weeks, we'll go back to normal. And it was when we go into April, and all of a sudden my diary was emptying. All the cancellations coming in. And I sat and thought, okay, what am I going to do? And then I thought, what else can I do? I've been doing this so long. I don't know what else I can do. And when I actually did sit down and I went through some job adverts, and just went, no. Oh no, really? People still do that, and I just decided that there's nothing that I would prefer to do. So it's what I can do just now. And I've got a great team around me through BNI. I've got amazing people local to me who immediately created a little WhatsApp group for three of us so they could help me. So I've got somebody who's an accountant who became a business consultant for me. I had somebody who was actually in a charity but did digital marketing on the side. So she became a digital marketing expert. So Shadow the Rabbit has a TikTok account.
Oh, wow.
I know. I just do little things and Katie makes it happen. And it's through the conversation we had, like, what's the opportunities we have. I didn't want to do Zoom shows. And the reason for that is because here's how we're talking just now. This is me, right? When I'm talking to people. And when I see people doing Zoom shows, it's like, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this card. I'm going to, and it just didn't, everything, it's all about participation. It's about talking to the audience and them talking to me and feeling the energy between us. Right, that's what it's all about. And I didn't think I could do it through Zoom. So the alternative we had was, when I'm working at trade shows, I create magic that's based on the product of the company that I'm working for on their booth. So could we do that by video? And the original idea was to submit videos to companies to use at virtual trade shows.
Okay.
And then that kind of changed to, what about just letting them use it for their social media? So, I created a little one for myself, just see how it worked. But I needed a team behind me for it, because when I'm doing it here, I have this backdrop, which is the backdrop just facing the wrong way for a Zoom show that's happening later. But for the videos, that gets replaced by a green screen. When I record it, I send it to a video production company. They'd add all the fancy bits and titles and the clever things that I can't do. So it's still a team effort. And that kept me going. It was great, very creative, trying to come up with magic to suit business coaches and utilities companies. And the one I'm working on just now is for a dog walking company.
Nice.
So the plan is to make the balloon dog sit up and beg. Right, it sounds good. I'll let you know how we got on with that one later.
Yeah.
We're still working on it. But then I got a call from a friend, said, Scott, it's my wee boy's party. Could you do a Zoom show?
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to, because I didn't think I could. My thing is, I have to do things the best I can all the time. And
Yeah.
I didn't think that by doing Zoom, I could be my best. But because it's a friend asking, I thought, right, okay, let's go and do it. And what I found was, you can make participative, you can have fun with it. I just need to tweak a few things. And actually, since October, I've been doing Zoom shows pretty regularly as well,
Fantastic.
because I'm able to make it me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not sitting going, and this card here is going here. I'm up in front of the screen doing things with people, talking to them because I can see them on
Yeah.
the screen.
And
Yeah,
and
so
I
that's good.
and I completely get what you're saying, because as a speaking coach, people would say, well, how do you coach your clients on, or how do you keep them engaged?
Yeah,
And that's one of the messages I keep putting out there is, as the presenter, your job is, yes, to perform, but you have to keep your audience engaged. How can you do
absolutely.
that? But as the audience, you too have to show the presenter your engagement. So there is kind of this mutual little thing
That
that
is
goes on.
the entire start of my show.
Yeah.
The whole start of my show is they are reacting to something I'm doing, and if they don't react well enough, we do it again until they do.
So tell me, are you going to do something for us today?
Well, what I thought, can I do something a bit different? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Because
for
what I thought I'd
sure.
do, right, could I teach you a little trick?
I would love you to.
Now, as long as the magic circle don't find out.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
because it's
make
a
sure
bad
they
thing.
don't get the link.
Here's the thing, you see, we are now ready for this, the 100th anniversary of the Sewing the Lady in Half trick. Isn't that
Okay.
amazing? So what I thought I'd do, right, if you want, I'll teach you how it works.
Okay.
Okay, no, honestly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay, I
And
believe you.
here's what we need. First of all, we need a volunteer to be sawn in half. This is harder to do over the internet, so I've got a volunteer already.
Fantastic.
This is Mrs. Spoon, right?
Mrs. Spoon.
Mrs. Spoon comes out. Now, you know what happens in Magic Show when you have the lady comes out? The first thing she does is does a little dance. Right? The magician brings out the cabinet of mystery.
Yeah.
And he turns around, he can even show it inside. This is just the cabinet of mystery, an empty cabinet.
Okay.
So then the lady is put in to the cabinet. Like this. Now you always get a little glimpse of her head and her feet. That's very, very important before you take her in and start going like this. Now, oh, sorry, I need this bit. Okay, so the lady is in the cabinet.
Yes.
Now, the saw.
Yes.
Now, it's real.
I believe you.
Okay, now here's how the trick works. This is completely true, remember, okay? So what happens is, the lady's in the box, the magician comes up with the saw, and when he gets close, he coughs, so she can hear. When he coughs, she breathes in as hard as she can, like, now try this, and you'll see that this is true, right?
Okay.
Put your hands on your ribs, and when you breathe in, you'll feel your ribs open a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So as she breathes in, he takes the saw and aims between her ribs and pushes like that. You see? That's probably not the best kind of view for this, but you know what I mean. Now, but if you listen, you can hear the saw against the rib. Again, that's not a good thing, just to demonstrate. So you see the saw goes right through the lady. And then because she's going to run out of air soon, he has to go. And she can go, you see? And that's how it's done. So, no, of course, how you change a spoon into a fork is an entirely different trick. Hopefully, we'll talk about that later.
I did not see that coming. I'm going to totally watch that again later. Now, I love, and I am like a kid at heart, so I totally get sucked in. And we had a magician for my daughter's birthday last fall. We were able to squeeze it in before the next lockdown here. But fascinating, and it's such a beautiful craft to know. and
Yeah.
to keep people engaged. And you definitely kept me engaged. And I love that you pivoted and you took something that you love and you're passionate about, and you're saying, screw you, the pandemic,
Yeah.
we're still going to move forward.
Well, this is an important thing, right? Because if it wasn't for Mr. COVID, right,
Yes.
we wouldn't be talking like this.
I know.
So
I
here's the
know.
thing, right? Now I know it's not good. Okay, real no, it's not good. And trust me, you know, I like to be happy and smiley all the time, but there have been times where I've missed getting out. My car is so close to 100,000 miles. I've never had a car do 100,000 miles, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to get back, and I'm going to drive it until it hits that mark.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are times when you feel it, but look at the good stuff that's happened. These amazing events, international events that we've put together. On Saturday night, I'm performing at a
Okay.
birthday party in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Coincidentally, where they make bicycle playing cards. So it's like a magician coming home. It really is. It's great.
Yeah.
I did an event last week where part of it was in Canada and part was in the UK.
Okay.
So I would never have got to do these incredible things or meet wonderful people like you, you know, if it
Oh,
wasn't
thank
for the
you.
pandemic. So it's not been great, but you know what? We will live through it. And here's the thing,
Yeah.
we're going to go through it and we'll be talking about it and laughing about it.
Absolutely. And so right now, if somebody's watching and they're wondering, you know, how can we get more information? Where can they reach you? What's the best way to reach you?
Well, the easiest way to get me is I'm known as Scotland's Magician.
Scotland's Magician. Okay.
So scotlandsmagician.com
Okay.
or Facebook/Scotland's Magician.
Perfect. And, you know, I know that we mentioned trade shows. Who are the people right now who are calling you? Are they companies, organizations?
It's a real mix of a lot of people
Okay.
because it's really people that are trying to think a bit differently. Another thing about this pandemic is we've lost a lot of companies around the
Yeah.
world from their high streets and from offices. However, there's a brand new generation of entrepreneurs waiting in the wings, right? And
Yeah.
when they come out, everyone needs to get the product to market as quickly as possible. Trade shows are still a great way to do it.
Okay.
And they are very important, but when you're working a trade show, I can also help with how you work the trade show. Even if you're not using me, right,
Yeah.
I can still help you with that because it's a lot of money to present at a trade show and you got to make sure you're getting a return on investment from it. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
I love the way you've pivoted, that you've embraced this. I know you're going to be back out in person one day.
Yes.
I'm super grateful for you taking this time. I know we're on a bit of a time difference right now. You're halfway through your day already. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Nathalie Mayotte. I'm a speaking and presentation skills coach. I own Master Your Authentic Voice. My goal is to help people master their voice so they can master their message. And I'm really grateful for you for sharing your message of hope and your hope and your love of magic. And the magic is still alive. It's still
Yes,
alive and it's
absolutely.
still out there.
Magic survived so much. We remember the Masked Magician.
Absolutely.
And everybody said that's the end of magic.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the Masked Magician. And you know what? It's still happening because people love magic. In fact, Canada have two of my favorite magicians there. You've got
Okay.
Sean Farquhar,
Okay.
who is a legend, and Bill Abbott,
Okay.
legend. And you know, Sean Farquhar has been in Foolers with Penn and Teller and fooled them more than once. And he
Okay.
and they are the nicest people because they do come over to UK now and then. I get to spend a bit of
Nice.
time, you know.
So if you are looking for some entertainment for your upcoming trade show, maybe there's a employee event you're organizing and you want something fun and original, the Scott's coordinates are going to be in the bottom of the clip, so make sure you contact him. Once again, my name is Nathalie. This is Noon with Nathalie. Thanks for being with us today. Whatever you choose to do, have an incredible day, and thanks to you, Scott.
No, Nathalie, thank you so much for letting me do this. It's been an
I'll see you
absolute
soon.
pleasure.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.